Hello students, in this video, we'll try to understand how to create a drop-down using HTML file. So to create a drop-down, we use select pair tag. We already understood why we should give name to each component. Within the select, we have an option as a pair tag. And using select, user can select one of the given option. For example, here I have written option select BE, BACIT and MSCIT. So student can select one of the option from the given option. So, and this is visible in the drop down and this is the value will given to the server. Purposely, I've written, like in some place I've written values, some I have not written, just to show you what will happen if you do not write a value. Okay. So this is the first select. We'll focus on this code. I've created one more select option where I want to send more than one value to the server. So that is why we have used something array in the name of the variable. So let's see the first select. Let me run using server. So here, can you see select? So here, once again, that comment is not done correctly. Let me, because I do not want, I want to focus only one area at a time. Yes. So here, coming back to this, you can see select, you can select from the given one option. And if you see here, you can select multiple. You have to hold control key. It will allow you to select more than one option. Got it? So in this, now we just add up a submit button also to show you something how the data goes in the URL. So let me add input type submit along with this button. So let me close the form tag here. Okay. So I have a form tag and I want to close the form tag. Now, the point what we are going to discuss is if you give a value, this value will go to server. And why this MCIT was visible as selected? Because we have added the attribute selected. By default, if you want to keep some option selected, you can use selected. In case of radio button checkbox, we have used a keyword checked. By default, if you want to keep that check, the keyword checked attribute we have to add up into the tag. Where in case of select, we use a keyword selected. And that is why MSCIT is selected. Now, when you click no internally for JavaScript on change event get fire. Okay. So sometimes students say why we have to write this option select. The reason behind it is, suppose let me remove the selected. So what will happen when I load the page? Here. Can you see select? Now, this is the instruction and then you select one of the given option. Now, if you do not write select option, what will happen is, if you do not write a select option, try to understand, there is going to be a problem. And what will be the problem will be, what will the problem? That is here. If you do not write the select option, what will happen? By default, something will be visible on the page. So on change event will not get fire for the first option. Like suppose, let me remove this. I'll give you the idea, Control X. Basically in JavaScript, there's an event called on change, right? So if I do not put select option, there is no event will fire for me. Like on change, if I have to do something. So in that case, what you do, you select something, then come back to B, then on change event get fire, and then you can write some code in JavaScript. So that is the reason why we always say that you must write one option, something like this select as an instruction. So when user select B, on change event get fire, otherwise on change event get does not that event get not be fired. Now, second point, when I write a value, what will go to server? So let's see that. Suppose submit query. Now observe here in the URL. I'm selecting BACIT, submit. Can you see SL equal to VACID? This data go to the server. Now, suppose if I select D, observe first, submit. Can you say SL equal to 1? Why it is going 1? Just check. When I select B, if you give value, this value will go to the server. If you do not give value, this data will go to the server. Generally, we prefer to give a value because we get this data dynamic from the database and you will get a user ID here, unique ID. And generally, we want to send ID to the server rather than text data. So depend upon your project, what data your server want to read, based on that server give a reply. So majority project, we prefer to write a value and this data will come dynamic. You don't have to code hard code because generally all the option or all the things data come from the database. So we put select using a for loop generally. Okay. So select allow you to select one option. Now here, if you observe, action name is a.html. So basically what is happening? Your control go to a.html. Though that file is not there, so it is say cannot get, right? We have already discussed submit lesson to action. If you do not write anything into the action, by default page is submitted to itself. So same page will come up. Now, there are some scenarios where I want to select more than one option. So in that case, you have to add an attribute multiple. Second, how many data you want to make it visible. So if you observe, there is a 5 data is visible to you. That is the size equal to 5. If you say size 3, only 3 option is visible. All the options are there, but visible area will be only 3. So can you see here? And since we have selected multiple, I can hold control key and I can submit the data and your data will go as a array. So on the server side, it will be used as array. Getting it? So select, you can select multiple option if you add attribute multiple. And if you don't add multiple, select allow you to select only one option. I hope you have understood. Select tag, and by default, if you want to keep particular option selected, we have a keyword selected. So let me end here. In the next video, we'll see how to create a text area, input type, hidden, and other things.